So now we're going to talk a little bit more about Howard Kurtz, because we talked about this last week on the show. This is the way people at Fox were talking about Muslims because of the Boston thing. Here's how they were talking about it.
We know there's one bottom line. In the Muslim communities around the world, they do not like us.
This is a situation we all face in America. The jihad is real. Radical Muslims are killing innocent people and threatening the world.
You know, we bring these people in, even though they're radical Muslims. We have to figure they don't much like us. We bring them in.
Let me just say this about the access that Muslims have in this country, whether they're American Muslims or whether they're here on a student visa. It is enormous, the access that they have, and it is virtually all radical.
Senator, very quickly, there are some who are getting very leery of all the Muslim students in America.
What are the theology?
I just love all the Muslim students. All of a sudden,
they're all radical.
Yeah, two guys just to flip out and start that blow up a bomb that kills 3 people. And with all the Muslim students, what's going on? We've been okay. He got some more to say.
In this world justifies murdering innocent people. The answer is only radical Islam allows terror murder. That's the truth.
He's also very dangerous.
So now they're talking about, now this guy, Eric Bolling, is going to talk about the only Muslim congressman in the United States Congress.
Kind of been like the Muslim apologist in Congress for a long time. He raised his right hand and took the oath of office on the Quran. If you remember in 2007, Keith Ellison did. I think it's time for profiling, though, don't you, Ange? I think it's time for profiling because...
I do.
Okay, so that's how they were talking. It's kind of stunning, right, Ron, when you hear it?
Yeah. As soon as he said Quran.
It's like, oh, so he goes, he's dangerous. He raised his right hand, because that's his religion, you idiot.
Right.
He's not.
If he'd sworn on the Bible, it wouldn't have been legitimate, right, because he's not a Christian.
Because he doesn't believe it. Yeah. So Howard Kurtz decided to tackle this. And so this is a guy, I'm so glad he got fired. He's the worst guy in the media. And he's the watchdog. So he can't help but do the false equivalency. So Cenk Uygur was going on the show from the Young Turks. And I saw him the night before. He came out to the show at the Improv last Saturday. Sold out shows. Thanks for coming, you guys. It was fantastic to see you.
He could not work that in.
Yeah.
So I told him, I said, you're going on reliable sources. Just remember this. Both sides do it, Cenk. Both sides do it. Both sides do it. So let's listen to how Howard Kurtz sets up the piece. Ready? Here's Howard Kurtz setting it up.
The coverage of the Boston bombing took a sharp turn this week as the narrative moved to the motivation of the Tsarnaev brothers and whether federal authorities had bungled the case. There was some angry talk about Muslims as much of the media world picked sides, pointed fingers, and engaged in ideological sniping.
So he go right away, both sides. Mm-hmm. Really? Yeah. Mm-hmm. But when you say both sides, what do you... So they immediately play a clip from The Five on Fox. This is Bob Beckel.
I want to rethink now and say, do we want to allow any more Muslim students into this country, take a period of time, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and just stop that from happening?
I think we also have to examine...
So now he shows Tom Brokaw. So this is his attempt to show the left is pointing fingers.
Right. Oh, that radical lefty Tom Brokaw.
Yeah. Radical lefty Tom Brokaw, who got a journalism award from the military. That's how bad of a journalist he is. Right. He's beloved by the military. Okay, so here's Tom Brokaw. This is his idea of a lefty.
The use of drones that the United States is involved in, and there are a lot of civilians who are innocently killed in a drone attack in Pakistan, in Afghanistan, and in Iraq.
So how exactly would you fight the war against terrorism, Tom? You want to invade Pakistan?
I think that Krauthammer and O'Reilly going after the president and saying he's not being tough enough on Muslims smells a little bit like a precursor to, is the president actually secretly a Muslim?
So that's Alex Wagner on MSNBC saying that Krauthammer and O'Reilly are coming very close again. Isn't the president a Muslim? Watch how Howard Kurtz spins that. Watch how Howard Kurtz.
So what explains the ugliness that erupted just a week after the marathon was marred by violence? Joining us now in Los Angeles, Cenk Uygur, host of the Young Turks on Current TV and on the web. In Seattle, Michael Medved, host of the syndicated Michael Medved radio show. And here in Washington, Jane Hall, associate professor at American University's School of Communications. Cenk Uygur has the tone on the airwaves about what happened in Boston gotten too vitriolic.
So now Cenk tells it the way it is. Here's the dope. Straight dope.
Well, it has, but we know why. I mean, let's be honest about who makes it vitriolic. It's usually Fox News talking about Muslims, which is ironic because this is the same Bill O'Reilly who kept calling Dr. Tiller the baby killer until Scott Roeder shot him. So here's a fundamentalist that's a Christian worried about fundamentalists who are Muslims and driving people to violence.
I understand.
It's incredibly ironic.
So here comes the false equivalency. Ready? Get it. And the wind up and...
I understand why you as a liberal would want to blame Fox News, but when you have...
I understand why you as a liberal want to blame Fox News.
Because you're a liberal.
Because you saw the tape. It's unbelievable. So here he goes.
Have something as we just played. MSNBC's Alex Wagner saying that Charles Krauthammer and Bill O'Reilly are on the verge of calling President Obama a Muslim because of the criticism of the president's remarks. Neither of those guys has gone anywhere near that garbage. So it's not entirely just on one side.
They're on the verge.
So he says.
Both sides do it.
That is, to me, that goes down as the ultimate false equivalency of all time. Saying that Alex Wagner, saying that what Bill O'Reilly was doing is coming very close to calling the president, is both sides do it. Somehow both sides are, what? She was pointing out how the other side is doing it. And that's, again, what's wrong with this goddamn
And also, like, the shallowness of him saying, well, I can see as a liberal how you would criticize Fox without spending a minute analyzing what exactly it was that was said. So you're hearing this hateful, racist stuff coming, and I don't care if it's coming from Fox, wherever it would be coming from. It's people targeting all Muslims and saying these racist things. And then Howard Kurtz immediately says, well, I can see as a liberal, I mean, it was on Fox, so I can see why you would criticize him, not caring at all about what was said.
Not caring about the substance of it at all. Just, I'm going to dismiss your opinion, not because of that your opinion is dismissible, but because I dismiss you as a person. Yeah. So I invited you on my show, and then I dismiss your opinion immediately. That's what Howard Kurtz did. Right, way to go. I'm glad you lost your job, Howard. I couldn't be happier.
I have to say, today is a great day. Howard Kurtz lost his job. And there's rumors that he's going to lose the CNN show as well. And let's just all hope that happens.
See, Howard Kurtz, he criticized Cenk Uygur's ability to be objective because he's a liberal, while Howard Kurtz is so objective, he's completely biased.
Funny how that works.
If Howard Kurtz blamed conservatives in the media, he would no longer be even-handedly caving into the idea that the media is too liberal, which is what Howard Kurtz does. Yeah, I guess the Muslim bashing is evenly distributed on both sides because on the right you'll have all of Fox News and on the left you have Bob Beckel.
Yeah. And nobody's making any stuff up in that whole thing.
No, right, exactly.
It's all real and factual.
It's all real and fact. You know, Howard.
And also, that's the thing is they say, they'll say, Bob Beckel said this, and he's a liberal. No, just because you labeled him a liberal, that doesn't mean he's a liberal.
What he says is not liberal.
I saw him on I saw a segment on CNN where they were talking about Maureen Dowd's criticisms of Obama and she's a liberal. Well, no, if you read anything she's ever written, she's not a liberal. Chris Matthews, none of them are liberals, but they have this label that automatically is attached to them, no matter what they say.
Because the center has jerked so far to the right, anybody who says something sane once in a while is considered a liberal. And that's pretty close to the truth.
Well, they can't use the words, I don't like them. So instead they just say they're liberal.
Yeah. So let's listen. There's a little bit, Howard Kurtz goes on a little bit more. Let's go.
Well,
so here's how Cenk responds to that.
I mean, it's a funny way of balancing things out, Howard. I mean, on the one side, you have a guy who keeps saying Muslim terrorist, trying to equate the two. On the other side, you have someone saying, hey, maybe that's not that wise, and maybe they're implying something here that they shouldn't be implying. So I don't equate those two as equal. Just to say that one side does something 1% or 10% may be wrong doesn't justify the other side doing something 100% wrong. And if Bill O'Reilly wants to keep going in that direction, hey, listen, do you know that since 1995, 56% of the terrorist acts in the United States have been right-wing terrorists.
Let me jump in.
12% have been Muslim
I want to bring Michael. Let me bring in.
So as soon as Cenk started to make an actual point with facts and figures, Howard Kurtz could not stop talking over him enough. Oh, wait a minute. Here's some actual facts. Let's listen to a little bit more.
Let me take you back to this core question. Why are some hosts and some pundits on the warpath, ideologically and otherwise, over this Boston tragedy?
I think that Fox is practically waging a campaign to link the words radical and Islam. I don't think radical Islam is a religion. I think what happens can be a perversion, from what I understand, of religion. I don't think the media should shy away from looking at how these young men got radicalized, what he learned when he went back to Russia. I don't think we should shy away, and I think sometimes we do. But I think that there is a difference between endlessly linking this and saying, you know, they're helpfully having visuals that say radical Islam with these young men's pictures and talking about how they should have been shot in the boat and how the wife of one of the suspects should be imprisoned simply because she was wearing a headdress in the Muslim religion. I think that
everybody on Fox is saying that.
Many.
Howard Kurtz, not everybody on Fox is saying that.
Just a lot of people. A lot of people are saying it, but not everybody.
Just the people who have shows.
Just the people who have shows and a microphone and a camera pointed at them. Not that is his defense.
Many people on Fox are saying that. Many people on Fox are saying that.
I'm sorry, that's just not true. Ann Coulter made a couple of really outrageous comments, which disturbed me as well. But you are not hearing stuff like other than from Ann Coulter.
So I just played it. I just played for you guys all that stuff we heard on Fox News.
Right.
And here's Michael Medved lying. Just completely lying, saying that it was just Ann Coulter said something. Everybody else at Fox has been super duper.
He's something else.
Of course. Okay.
And you know what? I would point out that Ann Coulter is, is a very small part of Fox. She's only on every night.
Okay.